Roman Early Settlers by Jaylah. The geography of the Italian Alps the geography of the Italian peninsula created an ideal climate for early settlers to establish farming communities. Those communities later grew to become cities. While it is true that the geography surrounding Rome gave the people who settled the land advantages as they worked to build their civilization, it was the unique characteristics of the people that led the enduring greatness of Rome. Not much is known of the earliest people who called the Italian peninsula home. It's believed that those early people probably migrated from what is now Spain, France, and Germany, crossing the Alps at the end of the last ice age. The acidification of the late prehistoric people of Italian peninsula is exemplified by Ozzy the Iceman, found frozen in the Italian Alps in 1991. Conditions at the time of Ozzy's death, 53,000 years ago, preserved his body and, along with him, his personal belongings. While many mysteries surround Ozzy's death, what is fascinating about the Iceman is how much his belongings tell us about life in the area 1,000 years ago. Here are some reasons. Here are some other Mediterranean people may settled the Italian Alps. By 1500 BCE, city-states in other parts of the Mediterranean and the Middle East were large exercised great power, and were often at war with one another. Knowing that, it is not hard to see why some intrepid people might want to create a new home of their own, far away from those troubles. That so many of them decided to make their home on the Italian peninsula. This should come as no surprise. After all, it was a great place to be. Who were the earliest to settle the land around Rome? The earliest Rome settlers called themselves Latins, and probably Etruscans. And they had an even greater influence on the development of Rome. Many Etruscans were rich miners and traders. Others were devoted to art. They painted murals and created jewelry, tools, and weapons. The Etruscans were also skilled in making clothing, metal items, and beautiful pottery. The Latins were farmers, shepherds who wandered into Italy, across the Alps around 1000 BCE. They settled on other sides of the Tiber River in a region they called Latinum. The Latin, however, were not alone in the region. They shared space with on the Italian Alps with other tribes such as Sabinese, Ladrernese, and the Umbrians and the Etruscans, as well as other colonizers from Carthage and Greece. What did the Romans borrow from the Etruscans? Most importantly, the Etruscans showed early Romans how to build an effective army. Later, the Romans copied the Etruscans' military mobile and used it to build an empire because of those contributions to Rome's culture. 509 BCE is an important date to Rome in Rome history. Here's why. The history of ancient Rome begins with an overthrow of foreign kings in 509 BCE. Romans, however, like to date the history of their city to 753 BCE. What this that is when the legendary hero called Romulus is said to found Rome. How was Rome founded? I'm going to end with the founding of Rome. Once upon a time, there were two brothers named Romulus and Remus. They were the twins of a war god, Mars, and his wife, Princess Rhea. They were kids, but their wicked uncle was tired of hearing them cry. He put the two babies into a basket and pushed the basket into the river and walked away. The gods must have been watching over the boys because the basket didn't sink. It floated gently down the Tiber River and drafted onto a near area marked by 7 hills. A she-wolf was taking a long drink at the river. The basket bumped against her feet. Before she even noticed, hoping for a quick meal, she lifted her head and looked inside. The she-wolf carried the babies back to her den and fed and cared for them as if they were her own. Romulus and Remus didn't know they were sons of God. They were happy being shepherds like their father. One day they had grown into strong young men and they decided to start a town of their own, a city of their own. Some of their friends decided they wanted to live in this great city too. Both boys wanted to be in charge. They both wanted to be king. They agreed to let the gods decide. Remus and Romulus stood on top of 2 hills. 7 vultures flew above Remus's head. 12 vultures flew over Romulus's head. After a bit of argument, everyone accepted Romulus named Remus king. That very same day, Romulus and Remus got into a fight. Romulus hit Remus in the head with a rock he was holding and killed him. Everyone agreed that Remus had started the fight, so Romulus became king, and naturally he named his new city after him, Rome.